All right, well, waiting for the stream to show up on the YouTube. Did I hit that? Yes, it says it's going in the streaming software. There we go, finally. All right, so it just didn't show up very quickly for me. All righty. And it is 3:01 p.m. Central Time, 4:01 p.m. Eastern Time, and it is a Saturday, so that means it must be time for answering your financial questions with Coach Steve Money live from Cabot, Arkansas. For further financial content from me, just scroll down. That is the wrong page. Home. Scroll down to the Answering Your Financial Questions playlist, the Ramsey Show After Show playlist, and I'll tell you when those are live shows are coming up again a little bit later. And the music playlist, including the latest hit single, How to Do the Baby's Deb's Right. So there's 11 total Ramsey adjacent songs in there. So that is my financial content. I also have a bunch of other stuff on here. Check it out. Now let's dive into the questions. Diving. Various team 8331 relocate for more money. Oh, that's right. I opened this one already because it does have more than is there. Hopefully it's not the world. Oh, that's not too long, I guess. Relocate for more money. Between my husband and I, our household income is 160K. Mortgage is 330K remaining. Could sell the house for about 600K. Have a car loan with 5 years left, about 33K in credit cards, student loans, total about 40K. Yikes. All right. Have you been trying to pay that stuff off? Is my question. I recently have the opportunity to get a 20K raise. Had maybe the opportunity. Past tense. However, my husband has a job offer for a new job in a new city for a big 50K more than what he makes now. The new city is not ideal, 3 hours away from where we live. And honestly, definitely be honest. Definitely say you're going to be honest about it. Definitely do that. It's just a boring and cold place, okay? Doesn't sound fun. Housing is still much cheaper there, so we could potentially buy a bigger home, although it would be at a higher interest rate. That's so interesting because my thought is if housing is much cheaper there, then why do you need to buy a bigger house? Why do you need to spend the same amount of money? If it's much cheaper there, you could save more money by not buying a bigger house. So that would be my question there. Let's see. I would have to quit my job since we would be leaving. I would also then have to stay at home with the kids because we have no childcare. They don't have childcare in that city. Maybe getting it free from family or friends or something. Our household income would be the same at 160K with him just working, but we could use the equity we have in our house to pay off all our debt. Put a down payment on a new house and have at least 100K left over. Would you move? That's up to you. Let's see. I'm so torn. Nothing's fine. I'm torn. Between the financial freedom and losing my village, my parents, my best friends. I'm worried I would get depressed, might, as well as I would be giving up my career. Not sure if that's something I want to do. Also, should know the current interest rate, doesn't matter. 1,500 a month. Should we move or just chip at it with my much smaller raise? Well, you do more than chip at it. You get rid of that mindset of, oh, well, this new city is cheaper. so we could buy a bigger place. Instead, you would go with the lower amount, and you do that now. If you stay there, you go through your budget and you cut out some stuff. And I don't know that you've done that. Maybe they've done that. I do not know. But as far as the moving overall, we don't have to do it. Nobody has to do it except you and your husband. So you guys need to discuss that and make a decision on that. It sounds like you have a good chance of not being happy there, even though you would be perhaps, maybe, not guaranteed, 100% better financially better off. Reddit user F1. Why don't more people talk about tithing when giving advice here? Well, that is something Christians believe in, and that basically is giving 10% off of the top. So that means you get your check. Government has already taken their fair share, of course. More than their fair share by the time you get your check. But then before you spend money on anything, you would give a tenth to the church or charity or whatever it is that you feel is right. And Christians do believe in that. People that don't believe in that are like, there's no way I'm doing that. I'm going to put that on my debt, even if they're full in with the Ramsey plan. As far as getting out of debt, they want to put that 10% of that. But that is something that Christians believe in. And so, but not everybody's a Christian. So, and even if they are Christians, not everybody tithes or believes in it. So, that's why I imagine it's not brought up more. I feel like tithing should be formally be a part of the baby steps. That would be assuming, again, that everybody is Christian. And then you're cutting more people out of it by doing that. It's very clear that tithing comes off at the top. Your English comes off at the top before anything else. Even when you're paying off debt, people here usually don't mention tithing to those asking for advice on what they should do, and I just don't understand why. It's because you don't assume that they are Christians. And also, if the man that invented the steps doesn't have it in the steps, then he's determined that is not necessary to be there. And so why would that not be fine with you? So Christians already know that comes out of the top. They already know. If they believe in it, they already know that. And so they're going to do that. Or choose not to do it. Anybody can do whatever they want to. But the man himself does not have it. Whenever asked about it, he says you do that first. He does that first as a Christian. And so, but as far as the general advice, it doesn't have to be brought up on every question. Let's see. Fantastic Neil, 1792. Should I get a part-time job? If you're on step 2, absolutely. Knock yourself out. Enjoy. Hey everyone. Hi guys. Hope you're doing well. I am wondering. I threw the hi guys in there. But it does say hey everyone. I'm wondering what your guys' thoughts are. Okay. On getting a second job to speed up baby step 2. The answer is, my thought is yes. For your reference, a little background on my situation. Work a full-time job that keeps me very busy, and my wife works full-time. Needless to say, we have a pretty heavy debt load that I want to wipe away. That is actually needful to say. That's good information on that. Unlike saying to be honest every other sentence. That is actually good information. I have it all mapped out for the debt snowball. Great. And I have the plan for where to begin. We have roughly $450 extra per month. That's not going to cut it. That I can start the snowball with. Using that rate, we are looking at being debt-free November 2026. That's not fast enough, not including the house. I feel like I should get part-time gig to speed up the process. We are already so busy. We have lots of kids' activities and things going on. But if I get the, okay, so here's going to be one thing, and here's how you can free up some time. You cut out some of the kids' activities, they will be fine. They will live without doing those activities. And you don't need to cut out all of them. Cut out the most expensive ones, or keep the most expensive one and dump all the rest, and then that frees up your time as well. But if I get the extra job, it could take an entire year off the timeline. Exactly. That's why you should get a different job, but you should also cut the expenses. It doesn't seem, I mean, $450 extra a month, that doesn't seem like you tried to cut anything. Do a buck up for a year, take on the extra stress, and quit complaining. Yes, you do that, but also you cut out more expenses. So that way it will take less time, and you have to have that extra stress less time, because then you'll be out of debt faster if you also cut things out. So, and cut things out. And this is, people do it all the time. I look at people's budgets all the time, and they still have multiple streaming services at the same time. They have eating out budgets and so forth. And and some people even try to do vacations and travel on baby step 2. And that is a no for that. So you do both to make it take the shortest amount of time possible. Yes, you work all you can, and also you cut everything that's not a necessity. I mean, you can have a couple bucks, $10, $20, fun money every week or something like that, whatever you and your spouse agree on. But the kids' activities, you don't do like everything for the kids, anything for the kids, no matter how much it costs. That is not what you do. That is dumb. You also don't need a new SUV if you get more than one child. Guess what? 3 children will fit in the back of a compact car, and they will live. I've tested that with 2 of my own children, and that does work. And they lived. So, not necessary to do all that for kids. You don't do all that for kids. They don't get a vote on it. It's great if they can do activities. That's fabulous. Anything that gets them off of a phone or off of the video game console, that's great. But you don't have unlimited money. And the more of that crap you have, the longer it's going to take you to do the baby steps. All right, omnipresent child. Pay for girlfriend's parents. That would be a negative. Ghost Rider. Excuse me. Mixed up my ghost things. Negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. That's from Top Gun, not from Ghostbusters. That's a whole different movie. They came out about the same time, maybe the same year even. Pay for girlfriend's parents, and that's going to be a no. We are planning to make a trip to South America. I generally travel business class for long flights due to some back problems. Initially it was my girlfriend and I who are going to travel. Now our parents also want to join us. Well, in addition to wanting to join you, they have to be able to pay their own way. They both are retired at this point. They want all of us to travel together. I would rather be I'd rather be on Mars right now, just for fun, colonizing it. But that's not happening either. The cost of a business class is out of their budget. Yeah. Now I'm in a huge dilemma. No, you're not. First, learn how to spell dilemma. Then secondly, should I pay an extra 4,000 bloody pounds, or is that euro? Might be euro. To put them also in business class or let them travel in economy. They'll be lucky if they can travel in economy. In my opinion, I don't think you do that. And we take our seats in business, or all of us take the economy. Last option will definitely save us quite a lot of money, but I know I will be done for a day or two after reaching our destination, and the same on the way back. So yeah, you don't have to do any of that. You and your girlfriend can go, and that can be it. They don't get to come along. Um, so especially if you're, I mean, if you're not on baby step 4, at least there's not even any trip for you, sir. You're doing it wrong. Let's see. Trey, what up, Trey? Paper girlfriend's parents. Yeah, that's a hard pass for Trey. So Trey agrees with me. Excellent. So that means Trey is right about that part. So that's cool. Thanks for dropping by, Trey. Much appreciated. Yeah. So that's, I mean, and you know what that does also. And you got to be, yeah, I mean, you got to be careful with, any kind of gifts, even if it's like, if it's going to be a gift, definitely no loans or anything. You don't do anything money related with family or friends. I mean, you can give them gifts all you want, but as far, I mean, even taking gifts can get you in trouble because then the person that gives you the gift, they can feel like you owe them something. And so this sets a bad precedent. So that means they get to go on all of your trips now. So you do not want that to happen. Trey says, if you do pay for it, then you see it set a horrible level of expectation going forward. Exactly. We had the thought at the same time. He's behind me on the stream. So we probably thought about it at exactly the same time. Excellent, Trey. Mama call him Trey. Daddy call him Trey. I'll call him Trey. Silent Rice 235. All right. Do silent beans go along with that too? Baby step 5 question. How can I save up for baby step 5? Saving for future kids' education. Where can I put this money and how much? Okay. So first of all, you don't do step 5 unless you have a child to save for that. So you don't save for kids that are not born yet. You don't do that. So, but let's say there is a kid, so you can do what's called an ESA, Educational Savings Account, that is national, and a 529 plan is run by states, and they are different rules depending on the state, so check those out. And they both have different amount of limits on it, but you can invest within that account. And how much? If they were just born, then you have 17, 18 years until you need the money so it can grow in the investment. So you can do the math on it to figure out. And so basically you can work backwards from it. You can say, okay, so in 18 years, 17, 18 years, I want to have X amount, $200,000, whatever you think college is going to cost them. For cheapest way, start at community college and then transfer for the last 2 years to a full university. Make sure everything at the community college that they are taking does transfer to the 4-year institution, and stay in state for the 4-year college as well. And so that's how you can save a lot of money. And that's less that you have to save up of your own cash to pay for it because you get a discount for being in the same state. All right, Nano Nano. I don't know if that's I don't know what that means. I don't think that's a reference to Mort and Mindy, Robin Williams' character on TV in the late 70s. And he would say nano, but it's the same. It's not nano. So I don't know what's going on here. What happened in the last hour of the podcast? Good question. Anyone know what happened in the last hour? Just notice the regular episodes I download are now an hour and 30 minutes instead of the normal 2 hour and change they normally are. Why would they shorten them so that I have to tune in live to hear it? It's a mistake in my opinion, and now I'll have less to listen to at work. Anyone know how I can listen to the full show with the last hour? Thanks. Okay, so if you listen to the full show of the 2 hours that you got, You would hear, wait a second. Well, if it's the video version, that is actually only about 40, maybe 42 minutes of time. It's not an actual hour because they take out the radio time when they do when they make the radio commercial time, when they edit the video. And so the video is not 3 hours, the video is 2 hours. And so, but so that's what I think you're downloading, and that's each hour of that is actually like 42 minutes or something. And so that's what he's talking about. But that last radio hour, which again, around 42 minutes or something like that of actual show, that is not on YouTube anymore. That is on their Ramsey Network app only. And to me, that doesn't seem like a good idea. One, it doesn't have chat on the Ramsey Network app. I would imagine they would add that eventually. You're also cutting out everybody but Americans, because nobody except Americans can download that. So you're cutting out all those eyeballs on the advice. And so, I mean, I understand them wanting to cut YouTube out of the equation. And so maybe this is just a test to see if they could possibly do that. I don't know. But again, you're taking so many eyeballs off of it. It would seem to me the extra eyeballs that YouTube brings would make up for you getting 100% of the money on a limited podcast that is only available in America. And so I don't really understand it. I don't have all the data either, though. So generally, you'd like to trust Dave and think he knows what's going on. He has all the information about it. I don't, so I can only guess. But again, I don't know why you would cut all of the rest of the world out of being able to watch your fabulous advice. So that's what's going on. But they say it in every hour, or at least in every show they do. They say that this is what's happening with it, unless they cut that out of the podcast. But I don't think so. I think that would be in there. You just didn't listen close enough. Sounds like to me. But that is where it is. So yeah, it is only about an hour and a half now on the YouTube. Ramsey Network app is where it is. And unfortunately, if you're out of the country, like if you're in Canada, you are out of luck. Let's see. Trey says forcing people over to the app is to help justify the expense of the app that probably wasn't generating many downloads without it. Could be. That could be it as well. Someone in the field app development isn't cheap for one as in depth as the one they made with a fully searchable clip library. All right. Yep, could be. And I mean, YouTube gets, I mean, I don't know what the percentage would work out to that they get, probably even more, but like even in a super chat, they get, and I'm subject to the same rules as well. Super chat, I got my first one last week on a video game stream. That was pretty cool, but YouTube keeps 30% of that, and you only get 70% of that amount. And so with the actual views, watch time, etc., ad views, and so forth, all of that stuff, I would imagine YouTube gets even more. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more like 90% for that. They're the ones providing the eyeballs. So, I mean, in my opinion, I mean, it's worth it. It's capitalism. They are bringing the eyeballs, that many number of eyeballs, and even providing you with the opportunity to get your stuff in front of that many eyeballs. And, you know, stuff costs money. That's just how it works. All right, Nervous Variation 675. Baby step 2 in Canada, seems like a long shot. It's not. You have to live on less than you make. Let's read it, shall we? Before answering. Trying to start doing that more. Baby step 2 feels like a long shot. Got 10K in the bank and exactly $2,346.82 in debt. Well, then you're doing it wrong. You're not even doing the baby steps. So why do you care, eh? Working full time, minimum wage. But why are you working minimum wage? 2 kids and only 1 income. Why are you working minimum wage? Get a better job. Do I use my saving? And you're only working full time, you can get a second job as well. Do I use my savings to pay off the debt? Yes. Yes. Let's check out the baby steps. It says save $1,000 for your start emergency fund. It does not say, and keep more in there too, just if you want to. Or just if you're going to make up something for in this economy and all that crap. None of that crap matters. Doesn't matter. You are in better shape if you get rid of your debt as fast as possible. So yeah, you would save that because you still would have 7,700, 7653 approximately in the bank after you paid off that debt. My savings is my 6 months of expenses. Okay, well, I mean, this hoser in Canada may just not understand, and it doesn't say it on here. So if he just read the baby steps, step 1, 2, and 3, he's thinking, okay, well, I got over $1,000, so I have that done, but I'm not going to apply it to debt. And then he might be sending a couple dollars extra to debt, or not, or he just sending minimums. And then he did step 3 too. So so my savings needs to be, and he thinks that. No. That's not how lists work. And in my head, by default, lists go step 1, do it, finish it, check, then you move on to the next step. Step 2, pay off all debt except the house using debt snowball. Okay, so that is done finally. Check. Then, only then, do you increase that $1,000. Even in America, even in Canada, everywhere. Steps 1, 2, and 3 in order, one at a time without doing higher steps. Steps 4, 5, and 6 are at the same time. And so you do have to listen or engage the Ramsey world in order to pick this stuff up, because it doesn't say it right here, but that is how you do it. But by default, I would assume that it's one at a time here. And we have had people in the Ramsey show chat, multiple people trying to do all the steps at the same time. And they're investing extra than the 15%, which also you don't do. So they think they're doing all 1 through 7 at the same time because they're building extra wealth as well. And so, no, they're just, the only thing they're doing is doing it wrong. Saving, with the rising, here we go, justification station, with the rising housing crisis, and lack of jobs, not sure pulling my emergency fund is the right thing to do. Help, you do have a full-time job. Nobody said you're in danger of losing that job, so you're not on storm mode, so you are baby steps, full steam ahead. You don't get to call it baby step 2 unless you're going to follow the plan. Then, I mean, if you want to do your own thing, you can do your own thing, and you don't have to apply it to the baby steps. You don't have to apply the baby steps to your life. It is completely up to you, but you're doing it wrong, hoser. Ford Crown Vic Koth. Let's see. Going back to the app for Trey. Once/if the app has an interactive chat, then it'll increase most people's willingness to use it, especially if the show can be cast to the TV. Indeed, but again, you're losing out on millions of eyeballs from the rest of the world. What would a Dave Ramsey 2-term presidency be like? It would never happen. It's ridiculous. I mean, he even said last week, he said he wouldn't take the pay cut, for one thing. Wouldn't take the pay cut. And Secondly, what was his other reason? Oh, it was something like he's what I've always said, and this is my words, not his, but he said something like this. Um, that he's in the best possible place for him, helping the most possible people exactly where he is right now. And see, the problem is you don't get elected to any office unless you're willing to compromise your morals. So, I mean, he doesn't believe in debt. So, I mean, he wouldn't sign anything that would put the country into more debt. So, again, it's not going to ever happen. So, stop being nutty, people. Brilliant scheme. Should I buy? Generally, no. Let's see what it is. Hi, new to this subreddit and looking for some advice on a situation. All right. Me, I'm a single 54-year-old man living in Southern California. I'm on baby step 3, trying to build up 36 months of emergency savings. I have no debt and about 2.5 months of savings at this point. Great situation. The place I have been renting for the past 8 years is kicking me out because the owner is selling the condo. I have the option to buy the condo. Okay, love the place, and I have qualified for a mortgage. However, monthly payments would be approximately 75% of my income. That's a no, dog. And that probably means that you can't afford California. If all the rent's going to be like that everywhere, and you were just in some dream situation where you were grandfathered into an old rate or something like that, if that's not going right, then you can't live there. Sorry. Or you got to make more money. Well, I think paying that much for a mortgage is a bad idea. So is being a renter. Being a renter is less of a bad idea than paying 75% of your income for the mortgage. Dumb. Real estate is hard to come by in Southern California. Tough. You don't get a pass because it's Southern California or any of California or any state or any city. You do not get a pass on the math. Dumb. Stop being dumb, people. Well, I think paying. Oh, I did that. Let's see. Where's the rest of it? Hard to come by in Southern California, and it is sure to appreciate and value. Is it worth the high mortgage payment? No. In order to be a property owner? No. And start paying off a house? No. Should I do something like buy the place and get a renter? No. The alternative I am looking at is moving to another rental. What is the smart move in this situation? Move to another rental or move out of California or Southern California to a cheaper place in California, or stay there and make more money so that it is 25% of your income instead of 75% of your income. Nobody gets a pass on math because of their little situation. You have to change your situation. Camelo, coach me through the baby steps. Oh my goodness, a dream question come through. Again, SoCal. Coach me through the baby steps. Hey, just like the latest song in the music playlist, how to do the baby steps right. It's how's it go? And I don't mind explaining to you all night how to do the baby steps right. All right. And that's awesome. I should do a version of it where it shows these steps and stuff like that and has, graphics and stuff bouncing around on the thing. But, that's editing, and who's got time for that, right? But it's step 1, 1K emergency fund. You don't save more to add to that sum. And so that's basically that. It's basically the baby steps, but with more explanation saying, don't do this dumb crap that people do when they think they're following the baby steps. So let's see what we got. Age 33, income $18,000. I'm an accountant in SoCal. Total debt 28,960. Car loan 12,888. Sell it, buy a cheaper one. Student loan, emergency fund 15K. So again, what I just sang, you don't save more to add to that fund. It's $1,000 only. It's not supposed to be enough. It's supposed to be enough to take care of very small emergencies. So you don't put them on a dumb credit card. Quit being stupid. Especially in California, you don't have any room to be stupid. Don't own a home. Retirement savings 21K. Sick of overthinking finances. Okay, well, follow the baby steps then. You just do them, and you do them right. Just want to follow a system to lead to peaceful, simple, stable financial future. Great. Step 1, done. Yes, overdone. And so now you got to take 14,000 and apply that. That will pay off that car loan today. And that gives you a car that is fully paid for. I was going to suggest sell the car, which you still could do to change your situation. Maybe, $5,000, go down to a $5,000 beater. But if you'd rather keep that car, liquidate the emergency fund and pay that off. And you would still have the $1,000 and you would have about 2K more to put to the student loan debt. Direct. Yes, 14K from emergency funded debt. Yes, leaves me at 14,960 to debt. So you understand it. You don't need to be coached through it. Excellent. I have 2,900 in margin plus minimum payment of 1,035. So I believe I could finish it off raising by December of this year. Great. Step 3, build 6-month emergency fund. A more risk-averse, anxious person. If that helps you sleep better at night, great. That's fine. Fine to do 6 months. Otherwise, if you have no job or life drama, no impending storms on the horizon, 3 months is fine, especially for a single person. Doesn't say single or married here, so we don't know. So that's fine as well. This will take me about 4 months. Step 4, invest 15%. I believe I would do that by 7K in the Roth IRA and 10.7K. He already has figured out. He has figured it out. Doesn't need to be coached. You understand everything. Maybe he's having another issue. Let's see. Interesting. Very interesting. Step 5, no children. So step 5 doesn't exist for you. You just get to skip right over that. Since you don't have a home, then you're in step 7 immediately in when? December, and then like April, something like April. Then you'll have your full emergency fund and you start investing in about April or so. And so then you're in step 7. Congratulations. You're not having a mortgage. And so the only time that once you do that, that's the no kid, no rental. That's like, what is it? Oh gosh, what is it called? No kid, double income, no kids. DINK. Yeah, double income, no kids. This is the no kids, no house cheat to get to baby step 7. So, and that's fine. If you decide you want to buy a house, then that is the only lower baby step you're supposed to go to. 4 doesn't count because 4 is eternal. You invest forever, even in retirement, unless you need any incoming money to live on. You certainly do that. But if you have more money coming in than you need to live on, then why not invest it and grow your wealth? That's the build wealth part of build wealth and give. And of course, give it a lot of it away. So cool. So the person understands it. Yep. Peace, freedom, safety. Absolutely. I don't know about you, sir, but I would feel way more. Let's see what he says about the emergency fund. More risk averse, anxious person. if you don't have any debt, that would immediately seem like that would make you feel less anxious. But that is just me. So yes, you understand it perfectly. And so you know you're doing it wrong. And what would Dave do? Dave would do exactly what the baby steps said, and exactly as you have interpreted those correctly and in the correct order. And so I don't see any problem, sir. I think this person is doing fine. So yes, do all of everything that you said there. Good job. Good job. Oh, Trey says baby steps are simple. You don't have to overthink anything. Exactly. Just apply. We will anyway. The overthinkers, some overthinkers. Where my overthinker that? Overthinker. Let's see. Simple. You don't just apply the principles and stay dedicated. It might take longer than you want. People are impatient, but right, it will work. Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like lack of dedication and or willpower. It could be, but you have to have, I mean, use your anxiety. If you have anxiety, that sucks, but use it to your advantage and make yourself believe, because it's true, you'll be in a better place if you do these steps and get them done as fast as possible. Then you'll be less anxious, and so use that to your benefit. And so, I mean, maybe just, yeah, I don't know. Maybe just making sure that that's the right thing to do and that he's interpreted the steps right. You know, more people should do that. Like the people, again, that are purposefully having more than $1,000 emergency fund, that they are investing already without having all the debt paid off, or the full emergency fund. They're just, you know, people doing it wrong. They should be the ones asking, but he has interpreted them correctly, so he doing good. Lakota Wikasa. Saving for a house, switching jobs, starting career, getting married. That's a lot of stuff, dog. A lot of stuff all at the same time. I generally don't like that, but I mean, life does happen like that all at the same time sometimes. And so, you know, starting the career, and that way you get your first big boy job, and then immediately you want to, oh, I'm going to start saving for a house now. So if there's debt, that's a no. That's a no on that. And again, that's, you know, stuff that isn't in the list of baby steps. Step 3B is, that's where you save your down payment. So if you start the baby steps, if you already have a house mortgage, if you already have a mortgage, when you start the baby steps, you don't always have to sell it. You might be able to keep it. Sometimes you do have to sell it though, because you bought too much freaking house and it's not sustainable. So sometimes you do have to sell it, but sometimes you don't. And so if you don't have to sell it, then you can keep it. But if you do not have one when you start the baby steps, then you do not buy one until after you have steps 1, 2, and 3 complete. And then you have also completed 3B, the full, or down payment, whatever down payment you want to save. And as far as that down payment, you can even stop investing or not start investing, which it should be, not start investing for 2 years. Dave is fine with that. While you save a larger down payment faster. Where are we at? Oh, have a question about how to, didn't start it. Have a question about how to prioritize my goals. Okay, good. It's not all that say you are trying to order them. I'm going to be getting married soon, and I'm switching jobs and going to school to be an electrician, also renting right now, and I'm saving for a house. That's a lot of stuff to do all at the same time. Like the saving for a house might be premature, but let's see. Job I am at right now, I will be taking a huge pay cut. Why? But I have no debt. That's fabulous. Baby step 4, having a hard time navigating all of this. I make 30 an hour, but with a job change, I will be making about 20 an hour while I go to school to be an electrician. All right. Well, I mean, can you afford that? and hopefully you're paying for the school cash flowing it. Because no student loans, because that is debt. So you would have debt the second you take it out if you have it. And so yeah, you're trying to do too much all at the same time. And so you're on baby step 4, so you are investing. That takes up money. Money is not unlimited, and when you're cutting out $10 an hour of your work, 40 hours, that's $400 a month. $400 a month, and so if you take out $400 a month, that is less money to apply to anything else. And so you don't have to spend any money to get married. You can go to the court and get, just for the license, and get married by the justice of the peace there. So you can definitely take care of that. You can start your career, sure, but you got to be wise about it. So I don't know why can't you make, why do you have to change jobs in order to go to school to be an electrician? Is it different hours or something like that? So you gotta factor all that stuff in. So you can certainly do that, and having no debt puts you in a better situation where you can do that and take a lower salary job. So you just have to look at all the things, and there on this question there would be like more things that I would want to know. Again, like why does he have to change jobs, etc., etc. And getting married doesn't mean you gotta shell out thousands and thousands of dollars for ceremony slash big party. That doesn't mean you have to do that. You do not have to do that. But saving for a house at the same time, that's a no. Get rid of that one and prioritize the electrician. If you really want to do that, prioritize that. So the saving for a house, that should be last on this list, in this reporter's opinion. What up, Aslan? Not enough information there to give Wikasa a useful answer. You are correct. Philosopher Thinker 01. Am I getting crazy? You probably already were, but you know what? We're never going to survive unless we are a little crazy. Or that's standard. Okay, let's see. I live in New York City. Well, that can be crazy if you don't make New York City money. And just bought a Honda Civic 2008, and the insurance is a whopping $400 a month. I mean, New York City, isn't that a free, don't they have free transit there? 25 years old and got my license 4 years ago. An officer gave me 4 tickets last year at the same time while I was driving a scooter. Long story short, nothing at that stop was fair. Wah. I'm sure you didn't do anything, sir. I bought the car just to move out from New York City, to have an apartment in the middle of nowhere. Okay, and live better life. Okay, then you don't live in New York City then. So you lied to me in the first 4 words of the question. So that's not very good. While working from home. Oh, live better life while working from home. Okay. Did some math, and this is what I'll save in rent. I will throw in car insurance wherever I move. Trying to move to Pennsylvania State, non-metropolitan area. Not sure what to think. I'm shocked. As for the last 5 years, I've been renting rooms, all utilities included, a motorcycle with $120 a year insurance, and rent of $850 to $1,000. I think I'm shocked financially, or just would have opened it already had I realized there was more, or just getting to an age to understand how life is really. Not what I expected at all, even though I have no family in this country and no one to explain things to me. Thank you for sharing any info or lessons, please. Okay, that explains a little bit of it. assuming English is not the first language, it explains that part of it. But it seems like you're trying to do more stuff than you just 25. I mean, that's to me that's still a baby. I'm biased because I'm old. I'm not quite boomer, but not as far away from being a boomer as I would like to be, of course. Um, but you're trying to do more stuff now. Basically, you were doing the New York City just get by renting a room, just a room. Where was it? For the last 5 years, I've been renting rooms, all utilities included, and a motorcycle with $120 a year insurance, and rent of $850 to $1,000. Yeah, see, the problem is you want more than that now. That's all that changed. And guess what? More than doing that is more expensive. And not just a little bit more expensive, especially when you happen to live probably in the worst city in the world for that. There's might be some more expensive cities, but that's pretty, as far as America goes, that's pretty much at the top, I think. Yeah, so it costs more because you want more. You're not gonna just rent a room. You don't want to just rent a room anymore, apparently. And I mean, just renting a room, I would say that's probably fine for most young adults. But eventually you get to a point where you want more for yourself and you would like to have at least an entire apartment to yourself, instead of just one room. So, and it does cost money. So you're not getting crazy. You're getting older, and it is standard for things other than just renting a room and driving a motorcycle around New York City. That is more expensive. Do, do, do. That's from Potential Roof 799. Okay, interesting. Ex's son making no payment to car insurance on my credit. How do I make him re-sign his name without taking it to court? I signed my name on my ex's son's car insurance, and he hasn't made a single payment on time and is refusing to resign himself from my credit. Can someone help me? My credit score is slowly dropping, and I don't know how to make her son take his name off my credit, and I want to try to prevent, not try and, you don't try and do something, you try to do something. Prevent taking this to court. Any suggestions? You're gonna have to take it to court. You can't make somebody do something. So even if it's your current girlfriend, or even a really good friend or other family member, you do not let them do anything on your credit. That was incredibly dumb, and now you're paying the stupid tax for that. So you can't do it. You would have to take them to court. And so this kind of thing only hurts the more responsible person. That's how it is. Like for friends, they sign up for an apartment all together. The most responsible person is the one that is going to bear the brunt if the other three bounce. And they're gonna have to pay it all. They're gonna be sued for it all. So only the ones that are like have assets to be sued, or that don't go and live off the grid or whatever. The one that can be found and that's trying to be an upstanding citizen is the only one that suffers here. So that was incredibly dumb. And so you don't get points with the ex, then current girlfriend or wife, whatever it was. You don't do that on your credit. That was incredibly dumb. And so now you just pay the stupid tax, and you do have to go to court. I don't know of any way to do it. I mean, you can talk to his mom about it, but I don't know how that's going to work either. I almost clicked on that. That is an ad that's made to look like a Question. Doom, 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 doom. I think she wants me to refinance in his name. Yeah, it's weird. It says insurance, though. It doesn't say for the loan. It just says for car insurance. Sign my name on my ex-son's car insurance. So, like, is the son's name even on the car insurance, or is it his name that's only on there? So, either way, if the makes his son not paying it and he's not paying it, he'll have to start paying it. You can start paying it, or you can take him to court, and that can go either way because this was your dumb mistake, not the son's. Oh, boom, boom, boom. Aslan said off grid is just fine, right? But I'm talking about like they're trying to skip out on having to pay anything, and they are leaving one of their now ex-friends, hopefully the former friend. Hopefully that's like, I mean, should be a deal breaker on being friends when they cut out on you and leave you paying for the entire apartment. Oh my goodness, I haven't been wearing my glasses. I was wondering why it was a little bit harder to read. It's about the same. I'm looking at a much bigger TV now, so it's pretty good to see. Let's see, trying to find a car from Titanic Tryard. All right. Hello everyone. Hi guys. Well, steps 4 to 6. We currently have a 2022 Subaru Outback and a 2015 Corolla, both paid off. We are expecting our second baby, and they'll only be a year apart in age. We also have 2 large golden doodles, and I'm fairly tall, 6'3". It's a dilemma, already cramped. Tough when driving with the one car seat and dogs. Tough. Why did you get those? If you're tall, why did you get those cars? They were fine. They were fine until you had your new baby excuse to get a new car. Those were fine. Can't even put my seat far enough back to be comfortable as it moves the car seat. You don't take the large golden doodles everywhere. Where are you taking them that much that it matters? The Subaru also gets poor gas mileage. This is what we call justification station here. We're pulling in all aboard. We want a new, it's like new to us, vehicle that gets 25 plus miles a gallon and can fit a tall person, 2 dogs, and 2 car seats. The other one can, you're just cramped in it. And so that's your stupid tax for buying that to begin with. You didn't grow 3 extra inches since you bought the cars, right? So quit using that as an excuse. People always want to spend money. They always want to spend money. And probably a loan. Let's see. Obviously, we want to pay cash. Disclaimer in here, but we might. But we're still early on baby steps 4, 5, and 6. We have a bit of time still to prepare and save further. Hit me with your suggestions for a new. The suggestion would be keep what you got. Or you can sell either one of those or both of those, whatever you want to do. You can go down to one vehicle. You can do whatever you want to do, but spending extra money because all of a sudden you have a baby and now it wasn't a problem with just the 2 large golden doodles. That wasn't a problem. Only now that you are having a second baby, do you think you need a different car? And the 2022 Subaru Outback and the 2015 Corolla would be fine. So what I would suggest, if you want to be less cramped, I mean, I can't do anything about the headroom there, but as far as being less cramped, don't take the dogs and the babies somewhere at the same time. Don't do that. And so you are the one that painted yourself into this corner and continue painting yourself into a corner. These are your decisions that is affecting this. And if you have even 3 babies, you do not need a new SUV. Even a used one, you do not need it. Deal the thrill. Milestone. Car's officially paid off in about 6 months as long as I stay on track. Excellent. What? Oh, I'll be fully consumer debt free. I thought they were saying it's a paid off, and then they're saying it will be in about 6 months. Then it's not paid off. I was thinking there, but I overthought it. It's just continuing to say car paid off, and then the rest of the consumer debt in 6 months, as long as you stay on track. Well, you just make sure you stay on track. Deal the thrill. First Vaders. Is it like Darth Vader? Please ask for advice, but think before you make decisions. What does that mean? Please ask for advice. But is this just, here's how I think subreddit should go. Here's how I think online forums should be. It's somebody in baby step 7 doesn't have anything else to do except to try to run the world. And so that's probably what this is. We'll see what it is and then jettison it if there's a problem like that. If it's just insurance, drop it. It's the car's financing that's the issue. Then she's great. Right. Yeah, if it's just the insurance, you just cancel it. Yeah. I mean, if you're on it, you can cancel it. Just like if you're one person on a joint bank account, one person can take all the money out and close the account. If it is just the insurance, call and cancel it. Yeah, if it's the loan, then that is not good. Not at all. Trey says the last people want room for a bunch of people / pets and tall people plus super fuel efficient. Yeah, you can't have everything. Right. You either get gas efficient or room. And Outback gets 25-30 miles per gallon city highway, so it's not bad on gas. My 4Runner gets 16-21 city highway. Yeah, they just get that something in their head about, oh, I want to buy something. Or, oh, we have to do it for the baby. Let's see if this is a bunch of crap or not. Props on being in baby step 7, but that doesn't let you rule the world. You don't get to decide how anywhere works on the internet. The internet's going to internet. Not everyone on the subreddit is broke or still in financial rehab. I started FPU not because I'd made bad financial decisions, because I made no financial decisions. Yep, that'll do it too. I wanted to know how to start off, but not getting into debt and how much to save. Yep, about 20 years later and debt free. Fabulous. Well, if you took out debt back then, you did make a bad financial decision. As a single person, I own a house in SoCal. I'm saving for long and short-term goals. Great. For me, that's financial peace. Great. Also, fully recognize that my financial plan is about financial peace, not wealth. That's great. I mention that frequently when telling people what Dave would say and or what I would do and why. Wanting advice isn't as bad as long as you weed out the bad advice. Well, it's the internet. You're going to get both. So, yeah. And also, just because it worked for you doesn't mean it's going to work for everybody. And so the stuff that has the most chance of working is the stuff, Mr. Ramsey's plan, that has millions of documented success stories and a 30-year track record. No other financial advisor has anywhere near that kind of track record. All right, Max 75577. Just paid off all of my husband and I credit card debit. Okay, I'm gonna let all that go because they paid it off. Husband 20 and I 19, just babies, rest of their lives. So earlier is absolutely the best time to start doing this stuff. Absolutely. Paid off $3,770 today, and it feels amazing. Our next steps are pay off the cars, $40,000. Think about selling one of them, at least, maybe both of them, and save for our house at least. Any tips for saving and paying off our cars would be greatly appreciated. Well, again, we refer to the baby steps. I see pay off all debt here as step 2 and saving full emergency fund as step 3. And of course, not on here, 3B is where you save for the down payment. So there's no house saving right now. You pay off all the debt, and you can get there faster if you sell off that $40,000 worth of car payments. Sell those, get 2 cheap beaters, and keep going. And pay off all the rest of your debt, and then save the full emergency fund, and then, only then, is where you would start saving for a down payment for a house. So congratulations on what you have paid off, and I won't say you're doing it wrong, but you're thinking about doing it wrong, I can tell. 2924838. As it says, a nice with paying off the credit cards, Mac. Yeah, absolutely. That is for any one particular debt you pay off is fabulous, because you have to, I mean, even if it's your very first one, and if it was only $50, who cares? You have paid it off. That is progress. So awesome. Should I pay off my car quickly? Yes. Next question. And be left broke? Yes. You should have a $1,000 emergency fund, but that's it. Or pay it off over time and keep some money on the side. Original plan on my car loan was $5,000 loan over the course of 36 months, and I was paying around $150 a month since April, but recently started making more money. Excellent. I could pay off the car this month and be left broke. Well, have $1,000. You do the baby steps in order. The first one, even before paying off debt, is to save $1,000 for your start emergency fund. So you would have that. And best case scenario, you never touch that $1,000 or even your full emergency fund. But so you save $1,000, but all the rest of your extra money doesn't get saved. It goes to paying off the debt. Let's see. Pay it off over, be left broke, pay it off over 4 months, and be left pretty tight with money. What does that mean? Pay it off over 4 months and be pretty tight with. Oh, does that mean putting some extra to it? Or I could pay it off over 8 months, only doing around $500 per month. Everything you're thinking is wrong. Overthinking it. So, like I said, where I ended it, I mean, basically that's the answer, is should I pay off the car quickly? And the answer is yes, and the rest of it is not necessary. So you do not save larger than $1,000 emergency fund. Did put the baby step 2 flare there, so the subreddit doesn't do that automatically. You are the one that has to select it, so that means they read what it said. So no excuse on this one. Matty Bags, what up? Matty had been doing some venting recently. You are welcome, sir. Blialstra 93. Blial. Nope, that's a IL. Blialstra. I don't know what that is. Stop retirement contributions to pay off mortgage. If you can pay it off in 2 years, yes. Otherwise, no. Hi everyone. Hi guys. I wanted to throw this idea out there and get the public's opinion. Great. I'm the public. I'm a member of the public. I want to essentially stop majority of my investments to retirement and use them to pay off my mortgage fast. I will continue to contribute 50% to get my employer match. Some facts: age 31, current retirement balance 167. Mortgage $97K. If you can pay it off in 2 years, fine. 15 year, 10.5 years remaining. See, I mean, everybody likes to point that stuff out, but you don't even think about it like that. You pay off the mortgage as fast as you can, while of course, if you're doing 4, 5, and 6 all at the same time. But again, if you can pay it off in 2 years, do it. If you can't pay it off in 2 years, don't do it. Like, not even if it's 2.5 years, because if you think it's going to take 2.5 years, something might happen where, oh, I need to buy this, so it's going to take longer, and so then you're out of investing longer. So that's a no dog. Additional monthly payment, 1344. 7 years and 9 months early, June 2028. Okay, when I ran the figures through investment calculator, I saw that by skipping out on 4 years, I of course will be behind. Yep, which I would have been at had I stayed put. But with the 5% plus additional 5%, I would still be. Yeah, see, overthinking it now at this point. But the question is again, how long? But he didn't know the rule of 2 years, so. I know the rate of the mortgage is low, but it's more than just the math. It's the emotional side of it, right? Which also means you should also be emotional about the investing. It doesn't say it really matter if I have 2.1 billion versus 2.5 million at the end. Yes, it will. A large payment looming over our heads. That doesn't matter. So it doesn't say. He doesn't say when he can do that. He's saying the additional monthly payment 1344 and the payoff of the home is 7 years. Is this what will happen with the plan? Because you can't take almost 8 years off of investing. So, I mean, did you just get this? 10.5 years remaining. Oh, okay. So 10.5 years remaining. So 7 point. So let's just say 8 for fun. So that's 2.5 years, and so it's right. It's like right at that situation I said. The problem is you gotta have people be honest with themselves and think, well, how much of a chance is it that you're gonna have something come up where you want to spend money? And instead of putting it extra on the house, you're going to spend it on something else. And so then all of a sudden it's going to be 3 years. And then it may be even longer than that. And so if you can't, pretty much guarantee it'll be paid off in 2 years, then that's going to be a no. There's always a motion into the future. You don't know what's going to happen. So if you're saying so it's like 10.5, let's see, 7 and 9 months early. So that would be what, 8? So 2.5. Oh, so I went ahead, 2.5. So, I mean, it's going to be really close to 2. So if you would cut out something else or work more and buckle down and make sure it's paid off in 2 years, then do it. It's fine. But, you never know. The average person is going to say, everybody says they're going to pay off a credit card every month. And then they don't. Everybody says they're going to do this, and that, and then they don't. So this is the same type of thing. But if you can pay it off in 2 years, Dave okays it. Effective artist, 9287, private student loan settlement. I'm currently on baby step number 2 with just under 15K left of my federal student loan and an estimated payoff date of March 2025. My largest and final debt is a private student loan currently totaling $37,794 with First Tech Credit Union. First Tech Credit Union. Interesting. I've been paying on this since graduating in 2019. I heard Jade say that she and her husband were able to settle some of their private student loans for 60 cents on the dollar. Didn't give further details, and I can't seem to find much online. Yeah, I don't know anything. I don't remember caller saying that. Has anyone had any luck with settling for a lump sum on a loan with not in default? Right, that is the whole thing. Because if it's not in default, that means you're paying on time. That means they're getting all their interest. They're making all their interest on it. And so they have no incentive to settle with you. If they don't think they're going to get their money because it's in default, then that gives them incentive to settle with you. So I would say no on that, dog. But I didn't know that some of Jade's is, so I never heard her say that. I'd ideally like to stack up about 20K and make them an offer. How much did 37K? So that's a little bit more than half of it. Okay. I mean, you can call and ask anybody any lender, any forgiveness question you have. You can call and ask them. Doesn't hurt. But if you're current with it, I would expect that to be a no from them, dog. And they will not send that idea to Hollywood. A9 56722. I know a person in the Ramsey Show chat called A9. Probably not the same person. How can I become debt free? It's not, because that person is already debt free. How can I become debt free by next year? By paying off all your debt. And that means you don't spend money on anything else. Let's see what the details are. I want to pay off my car as soon as possible, but I also want to have a nice cushion for emergencies. Nope. And which one do you want? You got to choose. So if you want a nice cushion for emergencies, then you're not following Dave's advice at all. So do what you want. Doesn't matter. Nobody's opinion matters. You're the one that has to live it. You are the one that wants the nice cushion. If you want to do that, knock yourself out. You made the money, and you made the problem, and you have to live the life. So you can do whatever you want to, but why ask in the subreddit then? I don't get it. Just want validation. A couple extra $1,000 for a cheap car by this time next year. If you're gonna pay off the car as soon as possible, then you own that car. Why do you need another cheap car by this time next year? Unbelievable. What should I focus on putting my money towards? Should I continue to put a little towards my savings or dump it all towards my car? Well, if you read the baby steps, you would have seen that you have $1,000 as cushion, and that's it until you're debt free. And that includes cars. Here's my situation. For context, I rent an apartment for $1,000 a month and have a very secure job. Doesn't matter at all. Savings, $3,200. That's a no, dog. You're doing it wrong. The question was, how can you become debt-free by next year by not doing dumb, stupid stuff that you're doing? Do the baby steps. Income, $3,000-ish a month after taxes with monthly expenses around $2,700. That's a lot. Includes extra car payments, though, groceries, etc., etc. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through your budget and with a pair of scissors. That's what I'm going to do. So that would be my advice. Cut out some of the crap you're buying. Car debt, 9K left on it. Pay extra $75 weekly. $2,200 of this savings should be put on that car immediately. And so that's not quite a third of it. Maybe it'll contribute a couple extra $1,000 by the end of the year between work, bonuses, and tax returns. Great, you do it as soon as possible. Credit card debt, I have more debt, $1,700. Credit card, I put all my expenses on, get cash back and pay the statement in full to avoid interest. Yep, until the first time that you don't. Until the first time you want something bad enough. I just moved out on my own and still learning a lot, no doubt. I've made a lot of stupid decisions, indeed, and you're trying to make more of them in the past, and need help with tackling my debt the smart way. Thanks in advance. The guy has a subreddit named after him. Maybe you take his advice. To give the benefit of the doubt, maybe the person just ended up on this subreddit somehow without ever hearing that Dave is the no debt guy, without ever hearing of the baby steps. And so, as usual, the answer is the baby steps. And that's how you do that. You could also, depending on what the car is worth, maybe you can sell it. But if you owe 9,000 on it, and it's only worth 5, then might just want to pay it off in that case. But you're doing it wrong, and so you would immediately know you were doing it wrong when it says save $1,000 as fast as possible, and then step 2 doesn't say save more than that. And of course, step 1, it doesn't tell you specifically don't save any more than this, dummy. It doesn't say that on there. So, people could just, oh, well, I'm supposed to keep adding to that, right? As I pay off debt. Nope. So you have to tell people. And so again, that's why I did the how to do the baby steps right song. And so maybe I should do like a version that has all that in there, that has the disclaimers in there. Save $1,000 as fast as possible. Do not save 1 cent extra. Do not add 1 cent extra. All extra money goes to debt, to pay off the debt as fast as possible. And so granted, then you have a paragraph for each baby step instead of just 1 or 2 lines. So that won't look quite as nice there. But then people would still screw it up, I'm sure. Oh, people are nutty. But yeah, how can you become debt-free by next year? Is by that being your priority instead of any other dumb stuff that you're trying to do. 4C Diane, why not transfer credit card debt to $1,000 or to a 0% card? Because you're just shell gaming it. You're just moving it around, and sometimes there's also a fee for that. Even though it's 0 interest, there's a fee for that. And so that puts you in more debt because that fee is on the card immediately. So you would have to pay that all off immediately in order for that not to be. But that is more debt immediately. Think about opening either a 21-month no interest card with 30% transfer fee or 0.99 12-month interest with no transfer fee. See, that's what I'm talking about. But I've watched a few videos, Dave being against it. Do you guys really think it's a bad idea? Yes, 28% is killing my progress. Well, then pay it off. Do things to pay off the debt faster instead of trying to move it around in some dumb half measure. You're doing it wrong, sir. Or madam, we don't know. Fun Wishbones has just started. Man, I'm fired up. Okay, me too. Because people they insist on being dumb. Been terrible with budgeting and finances, and the credit cards have got the best of me. I bet this person said he was going to pay it off every month. I bet he did say that. But today I got paid and put together a detailed budget and started baby step 1. Excellent. That is where you have to start. And there's baby step 0. There's a bunch of components to that. I will do a video on that one day. Already have a $700 credit card and $250 loan paid off. Great. Now I'm facing a $1,250 personal loan, $1,950 credit card, $3K credit card. Never tried the snowball method before, but I have a good feeling about this. Me too. It works. Millions of documented success stories. Been trying for a few years to kill these balances, but I'd always dump all my money into the biggest one. Then boom, I'd have to use it again and I'd lose my progress. Right. The using it again is what you have to cut out. Hence the never-ending and burdensome cycle of being broke and living on credit cards. Yeah, that makes you pretty much normal, my friend. I have a decent job and I can make this happen. You absolutely can. Just have to be smart. Absolutely. Mukat Ka. Debt-free house purchase is next. Congratulations. Paid off my car in 2 years and other small debts this month after following the baby step. Took some good advice from this group and, of course, listening through Dave's podcast. Now we want to take the next big step. We just got our pre-approval and it's very decent, more on what we expected. You know, maybe probably not English as a first language here, so maybe like it was more. Yeah, banks will always loan you way more than they should. That much is certain. We have 10% in hand for down payment for the price of the house in our area. So if you're following the baby steps, then that means you would also have the full emergency fund. I don't see any mention of that. Oh, it does say 6 months. Okay, I didn't read fast enough. My question, and I'm looking for some advice from this group on what will you do in my case. We have about 6 months worth of emergency funds saved up and wondering if I can use half of this emergency fund to cover the closing costs, or should I save up the amount I need for closing before purchasing? Yes. Buying a house is not an emergency. Closing costs are not an emergency. Or should we only put 5% down and 10% is the minimum Dave advises for a first-time home buyer? So no, you have to wait longer. Everybody wants to do it right now, but that means you're doing it wrong. So nope. 6-month emergency fund first, and then you start saving for the down payment. So you probably might have even done it in the wrong order. But yeah, you can do 10% if you're a first-time home buyer per Mr. Ramsey. Upper Theory 186. What's the best path forward in this situation? Well, let's see. Oh, let's catch up with the chat here. Let's see. As I'm not wanting to be wealthy, you can send all that money to me then. Oh, Cash App. I don't know what the limit is per day on that. Cash App, $ Coach Steve Money, Aslan. Boom. Not really wanting to be wealthy, but I would like to be in a position that, and don't worry about losing my job or right. And the further you are along the baby steps, that makes any kind of financial quandary you would face, that makes that easier to deal with. Trey says the HSA, high yield savings account guy, should take everything over the 1K and the high yield and pay off the credit card and then the rest on the car loans. Exactly. It's not rocket science or rocket surgery, Dave says, combining the rocket science and brain surgery sayings. Trey says consolidating debt onto another credit card doesn't fix the problem, right? And then after that, or 2 questions later after that, we got a guy that says the credit card's got the best of me. Exactly. Yeah. All it does is free up room from the user to stack up more debt, right? Which they already have proven track record. They aren't responsible enough to handle. Absolutely. Best path forward. Household income $250,000 a year with spouse combined. Both 40 years old. Debts. Current mortgage $660K for 30 years. And if you had to get 30-year mortgage in order to afford the payment, guess what? That means you can't afford the house. Equity in primary home, $700K. Is that 2 different homes? Car loan, $25K for 5 years. So you're doing it wrong. No other debts. So that's fabulous. 700. Car loan is $25K for 5 years at 5. Yeah, you pay off that car loan immediately because you have assets. Second home, paid off. Okay, so keeping the second home paid off and then also getting the mortgage. Toys, second homes are toys. And so that needs to be a cash buy then. So that means one of them has to be cash. So, and having the second home paid off and the current primary house on a mortgage, that is cheating. So you're doing it wrong. You can have one paid for a house and you live in that house. That's your primary. And if you want an extra home, a secondary home, that's a toy. And that is your, you got to pay all in cash. Liquid, how much? Approximately 430,000 liquid in emergency fund. Okay, that's emergency fund. What? Oh no, current. Gosh. Okay, so the punctuation here was throwing me off. Current market price approximately 430K. Okay, liquid and emergency high yield savings account, $60,000. But I'm gonna have a car loan sitting around like a pet for $25,000 instead of giving up the 25K out of the high yield savings account. So you're doing it wrong. The best path forward, I should have answered this immediately. I'm trying to read the question first, but you almost don't need to. Best path forward is the freaking baby steps. Shocker, I know. 401k, 400k, that's fine. No other, you don't mess with that. Other retirement, 100k, 401k contributions. I don't know what that means. Oh, other retirement's 100k. So if that would be in a brokerage account where it's not going to cause you any penalties, you can liquidate that too to pay off this second home if you want to have it. I mean, I know you're calling the paid off one the second home, but I mean, I guess I could give them the benefit of the doubt in saying that they didn't switch it over to where the first house that they paid off they were living in, and that was their only home, and then they called it. Now they're calling it a second home. So that is the part where you're cheating, but that allows you to go into keep the cycle of debt by continuously having a mortgage on a house, and that is not the idea behind the Ramsey advice. But you could cash out everything that's not in a retirement account. You say it's a other retirement, but if that other retirement is just a brokerage account, you can cash that out and pay off that mortgage faster. But first you got to get rid of your regular car debt. So let's do the baby steps in order. You didn't do them as you were going along, so now do them in order and fix it so that you are doing the baby steps. 401k contribution, 7 ESPP, 10%. I'm planning on selling my second home now. Okay, great. And the question is, should I take proceeds from sale 400k and add 60k, so total 460k, and recast my mortgage to 200k? No. Dumb. You just pay it off. Just pay it off. Dumb. Or invest in S&P 500 index fund. No, you pay off the second house if you want to keep it. And keep paying, or no, you pay off that's your residence. You pay that off before investing more than 15% into your retirement. My concern is I have put down 50% on current home, and my goal was to pay it off ASAP after selling my home. But you didn't. You were dumb instead. You did some dumb crap instead. So I'm not going to read the rest of your dumb crap. But you did some dumb crap instead of you put 50% down on a current home, and then you're just keeping it laying around. You're also got a car loan. So stupid, sir. Stupid. And I can spot stupid immediately because I used to do this stupid crap all the time. So I know. So that's why I know that it's stupid, and that's why I'm saying that you're being stupid by doing this stuff. So the best path forward is to correct all the dumb crap you're doing and make it look like the baby steps. All right. That's a fun one to end on. Coach Steve Money. Once again, I am a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, and for more financial content, it's the answering youtube.com/coach Steve Money, answering your financial questions. That is Saturdays and Sundays at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, and the Ramsey Show after show, and that is going to be through September. It's going to be Tuesdays and Thursdays after the Ramsey Show video ends, which, as we know, is after about an hour and a half. So something like 5:25 or so p.m. Eastern Time. That's when the Ramsey Show after show will happen. And of course, the music playlist with 11 Ramsey adjacent songs in there. Give those a listen if you are so inclined. Once again, I'm a Ramsey Solutions certified financial coach, not just a guy running his mouth. I'm a certified financial coach running his mouth. And you can schedule a free financial coaching consultation with me at calendly.com/coachstevemoney. You can email me at coachstevemoney@gmail.com if you have any questions about coaching or the financial stuff or anything on my YouTube channel. Donations can go to PayPal.me/coachstevemoney. Cash App, like I said, Aslan, $Coach Steve Money. Alternatively, a Walmart gift card for donations to coachstevemoney@gmail.com. And the upcoming streams, like I already told you, answering your financial questions. That is 4 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturdays and Sundays. Excuse me. And the Ramsey Show after show is Tuesdays and Thursdays, approximately 5:25 p.m. Eastern Time, right after the Ramsey Show video on YouTube ends. And Ramsey Show chat refugee streams Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at that same time when the Ramsey Show video ends. A little bit early, like 35 minutes early when it ends. I put up a stream to just so you can talk, so people can chat in there. And so as long as enough people come to chat in there, I will keep doing that, and we'll see how that goes. And that's the clarification. Baby steps 1, 2, 3 in order, one at a time. No doing higher steps early. Steps 4, 5, and 6 in order at the same time as each other. Alrighty. Thanks so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Thank you so much if you've already done that. And as always, make smart financial decisions every day.